Hey guys, it's good to see you back here for door number 16 of our Crafter's Companion Advent Calendar. Can you believe it? We're already at 16. We've had incredible items behind the last 15 days, and now we're away to have a look and see what we've got within door number 16 and what we're going to create with that item behind door number 16. As always, while you're here, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my Crafter's Companion YouTube channel by hitting that subscribe button, and then you're going to find any videos that I pop up here are going to be sitting there ready for you to watch. Or, if you want them straight away, hit that bell notification. So then that means from myself, whenever I post any tutorials, you will then be alerted straight away to say Craig Laird Crafter's Companion has popped up a tutorial. I won't quite say popped up a tutorial, but I'll have something along those lines saying Craig Laird Crafter's Companion has a tutorial up there ready for you to view. So do make sure that you do that. And then when you watch the videos, give me a thumbs up as well, because that would be great. And I know all of you do, so I really appreciate it. So for anyone new that's joining, subscribing and hitting that bell, once you watch the videos, give me that thumbs up as well, because it really does make a difference. But as I say, it is all about door number 16. So let's do that. Let's dive into door number 16, where we're going to see what we've got behind said door. So let me zoom out that little bit more, and then we can open it up and see what delights we have got. Now, where is 60? Oh, there we go. Find it quite straightforward there. Let's open it up and have a look. We've got ribbon. Oh, and we've got my favourite satin. Got my favourite satin ribbon, gold and silver satin ribbon. Now, what are we going to be doing with that? Now, you may think I'm probably going to just make a generic card and then add a bow. Well, I'm not. I'm actually going to make a background using the ribbon, and I'm going to bring in a few items, a couple of things old and new. So if you've got them, great. If not, don't worry. One of them being alphabets. So when it comes to the alphabets, I'm using a really older one, which was called our Cascading Right alphabets. Now, as I say, if you don't have them, do not worry, because you can use any alphabets that you've got. It's just I like the size and the font of these. I do need to do a little bit of chopping when it comes to these, and you'll see why just shortly. So I'm going to use them, and I'm also going to use my multi-craft heart dies. These are the two that I'm going to be using. We're going to do a 6x6 card, and then we're going to use black and white. That's all that we're going to be using. So to start with, what we're going to do is let's move all these bits out the way for now. So I'm going to move that out the way. I'm going to bring in actually the heart dies. I'm going to bring these in. I'm going to bring in some black cardstock. Move that out the way. Move that ribbon out the way for the moment. And then when it comes to the dies, I'm going to use the third and fourth. So I'm going 1, 2, 3. So the third and the fourth one I'm going to use when it comes to these two here. So let's pop them back in for now. So let's take our scissors and just roughly cut around. Roughly cutting. That can go into there. That can go into there. Now, not only that, what we've then got is my tape. So either your low tack tape or your washi tape. I'm going to lay them in together, and I'm going to secure them the best that I can. I'm going to bring in my plates, my multi-craft. So I'm going to bring in my two. I need to bring in my shim as well. 2 cutting plates, and then my frosted shim. Now the only difference today is I just haven't hooked up the camera facing the Gemini. So running that one through, we'll bring that out, and then we'll let you see how it is once it's cut. Let's take these out. So for this, I actually want the frame heart. So that is the heart that I am wanting. So if I then set that to the side for now, we don't need any of that. I can keep that heart for something else. Then what I'll need is I'll need the smallest heart. So I'll need to keep a hold of the smallest heart here. And then let's bring in some white cardstock. So if I bring my white multi-purpose in, I'm just going to have a look. So I'm going to cut this to, I think I'm going to cut this to 5 by 5. So let's bring this in. We'll do 5 by 5. So we'll get that idea. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then I do want a small matting layer. So I'm not going to go quite to 5 1/4. I'm going to come just before the 5 1/4 by just before the 5 1/4. I'm going to marry that up, and that's, do you know something? I want a little bit more of a thinner border. I want a really fine black border. That's it. Happy with that. Then what I want to do is I want a bit of cardstock, but I want it to be smaller than the 5 by 5. So I'm going to come to let's do 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. Probably actually I'm going to do, let's do 4 1/2. Let's do 4 1/2 by 4 1/2. So that's that layer. Let me pop the guillotine out the way. Let's put that card, and move them out the way. I'll need to get my double-sided adhesive sheets in a moment. Now when it comes to the 2 layers, so that was the square that we've done at 4 1/2 by 4 1/2. So set that out the way for now. And then when it comes to our top layer, our white layer that we've cut to 5 by 5, we're going to bring in our smallest of the 2 hearts that we've used. And I'm going to go in, I'm going to keep it relatively straight. You can go in at a jaunty heart angle if you want to, but I'm going to keep it straight. I'm going to then press that in. I'm going to put that on my plates, frosted top plate, and then that can go through as well. So that's going through, so that's going to create the heart aperture. So we don't need the heart that's in the middle, we're actually wanting the heart aperture. So as that comes out, what we can then do is then bring this one in. So if I bring it in, and then we will see how we've got our heart aperture sitting over the top that we've got here. So that's what I'm wanting. So let's move that out the way for now. Let's move all that out the way and move all that out the way. So let's move that. So I don't need that middle heart, but that outer heart that we've done is going to fit nicely over the top that we can see here. Sit that out the way. What I'm actually going to do is let's take some of that white and black cardstock. Let's do our alphabets. So if we do our alphabets, bring it in. And then I'm going to keep it simple and I'm going to do love. So let's do L-O-V and then E. So let's bring them in. So let's do L-O-V and E. And we can tape them down. Doesn't need to be neat, so don't worry, because then we'll need to chop them out anyway. So let's bring in our plates. So our base plate. Now for this one, because they're quite simplistic, I'm going to try it without the magnetic shim and see if it works, because they're a simple shape, simple letter, not too much detail to cut. Yeah, cut perfectly. As I say, they do stay in place, so we'll need to chop them out just shortly. So that's it in white. Let's take that little aperture out. And then let's do the V and the E, the L, the O, the V and the E. We're going to run that one through as well. And then just in a second, I just need to get my double-sided adhesive sheet. I don't know if I've got a bit to hand. Oh, I do as well. Look at that. Look at that. By chance. How good was that? It's as if they knew I was going to be using it. Let's take that out. Let's take that out. So we've got love when it comes to the black card. So that's that, and then that's that. So if we go back to that piece that we cut to 4.5 by 4.5, we can add our tape on. So roughly cut around and take that back and off. Put our card on here. Lay that on around the edge. Press in. Now I need to trim that excess off. Don't cut the actual adhesive sheet because it really is tough to cut when it comes to the scissors. So cut into your cardstock. Now this doesn't need to be neat because you're not going to see the edges, but cut onto your cardstock, not the adhesive sheet, and then that'll stop you from having a little bit of difficulty when it comes to the scissors and cutting. So let's press all that in, set that out the side. Let's bring in our scissors, and then from these letters there is an embossed line, so I'm just going to chop down the embossed line. Let me neaten that a bit better. There we go. So get rid of that. Follow around. So let's chop that in and chop that in, and then chop that out. So there's love. Let's take L. Let's take that out. So just roughly chop out. Follow that around, and then let's take that out there, that down there, and then we're going to do the same within the E. So we've got that, and then you've guessed what I'm going to be doing, and that is of course a drop shadow. So we're going to do the black onto the front for a change, because usually when I do drop shadows I will do the actual light to the front, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do the dark to the front. So I've got my drop shadow there. Let's just peel that in. Let's bring that in and bring that in. Add our glue around the edge. Press that in. There's our O. Let's bring in the V. And that can then go in there, like so. And then let's bring in the E. like that. And then that one can go in to here. Press that in. Like so. So there's our love. So that can go out there. Let's bring back in our heart and our frame, and let's add that in while we're doing our gluing. I'm going to add my glue around the edge. All the way around. So let's add that on. Let's add that into place here. Hold that in. Back in. Get that into position. Like so. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to hold and press, and I'm going to take a drag. Move that. And there we go. We've got our love heart aperture. Then, at this moment in time, let's turn that over. I'm going to come in with my foam pads. Now for these, I want them purposely, or this layer, to purposely be quite high. So these are 4mm foam pads in thickness. Add them in. Let me get some more. Doesn't necessarily have to be that high, but I want it to be. So I'm going to stabilise it all the way round. So it's not, we're not doing a shaker or that, so it doesn't need to be neat around the edges or that. That into there. So there's our back layer, all good to go. So, double-sided adhesive sheets. Let's pop this on, take that off, and then let's bring in our ribbon. Now you've maybe seen me do this with paper, but you've maybe not seen me do this with ribbon before. And the reason being is I've never actually done it with ribbon before. So let's take all of that off. Let's take our tape off and just snip that end. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to go, I'm going to unravel it all to make it easier for myself. We will have excess left over. And tell you what, I am going to use, actually, no. Let's take, I was going to use some leftover from when I was playing with this before. So I'm going to start with the gold, and I'm just going to go corner to corner, roughly corner to corner. It doesn't need to be neat, it doesn't need to be straight. The only thing you want to try and do is we're going to do the same with the silver, but try and make sure that you're pressed right against the edge. We've got a little bit of tape on there. I'll just go at the other end to start with. So you just want to make sure that you're pressed relatively close up to the edge. So you don't want to see any of the adhesive showing. If you do, don't worry, you can infill with things such as glitter or that. So let's do that one here. And in all honesty with you, I'm going to say so far, I'm going to say this is my favourite project out of the Advent calendar. So we're just going to alternate. We're just going to go gold, silver, gold, silver. It's a good thing to do, one, with the ribbon, but also any ribbon that you've got at home. You need to use it up. It's a good thing. Now if I bring that in, because you won't necessarily have to go right to the edges, save yourself a bit of ribbon. If I go into there, yeah, see, I could have didn't need to put that one on there because you're not going to see that gold. So just keep in mind the way that you're going. Let's go in with the gold. And then add that on. And then silver. Into there. A little bit of tape there. Let's take that off. Press that in. And then let's just make sure. Yep. That's fine. So let's snip all that excess off. And that's why we wanted this to be smaller than that base layer, because you don't want to see these edges when we layer it up. Like so. Let's take them and move them out of the way. So we've then got our backdrop that you can see here. So I'm going to pop that in. You can, if you want to, you can stick that on there first and then stick it onto there. I'm quite comfortable at getting it kind of bang on where I need it to be. So I'm going to mat and layer all this together. If you don't like those sticky corners that you've got left, you could just take a little bit of talcum powder or something like that. Dust it to take away the stickiness. But my foam pads will stick over the top, so doesn't matter. So let's take our backing off, bring that in, and then mat and lay that as close to the middle as you can get, which we've got there. I'm then going to come along with my foam pads, and let's take that off. Like so. And actually, before I stick this on, what I am going to do is, let's put my tape onto the back of this first. Just put that on all the way around. So let's take that now, because I'm going to go on to some areas are going to be on my ribbon. What I'm just going to do, kind of like the surrounding areas of the love heart, I'm just going to put a little bit of tacky glue just so that that's going to then soak and dry into the ribbon. That can then sit nicely, snugly onto there. And you can see it, there we go. We've got our love heart there. Again, let's press that in. What I'm going to do is let's put this onto my card blank first, and then before we do the card blank, let's do our insert. Let's bring our guillotine. The card is 6 by 6, so let's do 5.5 by 5.5. Bring our white in, 5.25 by 5.25. Let's get our tape. Let's add our tape on all the way around. I always add a little bit within the middle. Let's bring that one in. bring that one in and that one in. So let's layer these up into place there, add that in. So let's pop that into the middle here. Let's bring in our card blank. Which is somewhere. Here it is. Let's put that in there. Like so. Let's bring our bone folder. Let's give it a good burnish. Then if we take these off, there, 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 and then there. That can sit into the middle just here. And then we're going to bring in our L, O, V, and E. Let's get them roughly into position that we want. So I've got that. So having that white into the back just gives it that halo kind of shadow. So I'm happy with that, but I'm going to go in with the O first. I'm going to do the O and the V first. I'm using my white glue, so we will just need to then let that hold. Let's go in with the V. Add that on to there. And make sure that I've got that where I want it. Yep, let's just press that. Let's come in with the E. E, E, and E. That we're going to press. And then that can get where we want it. I'm not going to add any gems or pearls or anything like that. Anything extra like that you can do, of course. I'm going to keep it crisp and clean and simple, like so. There we go. And that's why I'm going to say once again, that is, for me anyway, I'm going to say that's my favourite project out of the Advent calendar so far. I love the simplicity of it. I love the look of it, the crispness to it. I love the black and white, but I love the strips with the ribbon, but I love the fact it's ribbon on that backdrop there. And then there we go. 6x6 card. So that's our heart multi-craft dies. That's our right cascade and right alphabets, although if you don't have them you can use smaller alphabets. And then it's our white multi-purpose black cardstock 6x6 card blank. To pop that in, use foam pads, use tacky glue, and we created our love card. There we go. So if I bring that in for you guys to see, look closer, tilt that up, so you get that natural shadow as well. Easy to turn that into a shaker if you wanted it to, and of course you can come along gems or pearls around the side if it actually will be. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. I'm going to use tiny little black ones here. Now these gems that I have are from Bibby, Dawn Bibby. These are her ones. So I just want these tiny little black ones that I've got. Let's add that in. Just doing 3 there. 3 at the side. And then 3. Well, I don't know where that gem's gone. It's up there somewhere. There we go. And 1 more. So they're self-adhesive, but you guys know by now, all gems, even self-adhesive gems, I put a little bit of tacky glue onto the back. There we go. Finishing a little accent detail there, top and corner, and then there we go. Bring that in once again for you to see. Let's level that up. Excellent. And then there we go. That is project or door number 16 from our Crafter's Companion Advent Calendar. Really hope that you enjoyed that one. Really hope so, because it's my favourite one so far. So yeah, I'm hoping that you like it as well. Of course, if you do make and do exactly what I do, or even if you change it up and you post it on social media, do give me a tag as well. Always lovely to see. I know I'm little bit behind when it comes to catching up on any of the posts that you guys have tagged me in, but I am getting there, which I really appreciate. And as always, as I've been saying, when it comes to the comments here on YouTube, I see every single one. Hard to respond to them all, but I do read every single one. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. But that's it for door number 16. We're now going to go into door number 17 tomorrow, where of course we're going to open the door, we're going to see what it is, and then we're going to get creative with it. Wonder what it could be. The only way to find out is come along tomorrow. Tune in, join in when it comes to my Crafter's Companion YouTube channel with our 2023 Advent Calendar, and we will see you then. See you then. Bye.